Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Well, we got a real special show for everybody today. We always hear people talking about family office. It's sort of like the magic bullet that everybody likes to talk about, especially when they're looking to finance a deal, a real estate deal, a business deal, a company rollout. You talk to all these private equity people, and they all talk about, well, we do business with family offices, and then poof, the family office idea disappears because it's really difficult to get access to the people that call the ball at the family offices. But here on episode 839, we're going to have Irv Adu-Gyamfi. I hope I got that right. I butcher everybody's name, including my own. We're going to talk about the IMN Family Office Forum here in Miami. I go every year. IMN's been a real good partner over the years with Freed on Business. And I've always found these conferences to be terrific. And usually I see 1, 2, sometimes 3 or 4 of the families that I deal with on a regular basis. Last year, I saw 3 generations of one of the families I deal with at the conference. So it's the real deal. And it's going to be, well, we'll leave that to Irv to talk about it. I want to welcome everybody to the show. I want to remind everybody we're streaming on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram. And there's Irv. Irv, say hello to everybody.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Hey.
All right. You got him. He put you in there before I was done. But that's Miami Podcast Studios having an itchy trigger finger. You can find us on those different streaming sites at Freed on Business or at Jim Freed. So take it away. Irv, welcome to the show. How'd I do on the butchering of your name?
You did great. Better than last time, which is a couple years ago. So yeah, time's passed, but I guess not. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. So
yeah, well, thanks a lot for calling me an old dog, you young buck. So anyway, so Irv, before we get started, where did you go to learn about being involved with family offices?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. So I guess this journey kind of started about 5, 6. I would say a while ago, but maybe 5, 6 years ago when I started working at asset management events. Really got an idea of what a family office is, what they do, and this is more on the institutional investor side of the business I was working on. And then kind of fast forward, I guess 3 to 4 years, just a couple of years ago, I joined IMN, and obviously they have more of a real estate focus. And kind of get introduced to some of the events with kind of the family office investing events. And I've been heading that up for the past 3 or so years. And, I think it's just been great to kind of learn more about family offices and kind of the different, ways that they operate, and kind of just like you mentioned earlier, intergenerational investing, kind of succession planning, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm still learning kind of every day, and kind of want to have conversations with these family offices, and every new conference presents an opportunity to learn more about them. So I'm still learning, but definitely have learned a lot along the way, just about what they do and how they do it.
Now, when's the conference, Irv? It's just a few weeks away, right?
Yeah, so it's October 9th and 10th down in South Florida, sunny South Florida. We'll be in Coral Gables again this year. And we'll be at the Lowe's Hotel down in Coral Gables. So beautiful location, great hotel. And great place to kind of have family offices congregate and talk about the industry.
I'll talk about the important parts. It's surrounded by a bunch of great restaurants. The hotel's phenomenal, and you always have good food.
Yeah, we try. There's a cheesecake factory by there too. I feel like that's an underrated restaurant, but
it's surrounded by some of the best restaurants in South Florida. It's got easy regional access. I love staying at that hotel as a guest and also as an event attendee. Who are some of the people that folks can expect to meet there?
Yeah, so again, the ecosystem of family offices are, at least in terms of who we have at the events, are high net worth advisors, family offices themselves, single family offices, multi-family offices. We do have an RIA community that ends up showing up, and again, some of the advisors at These investment management companies, I think, are really well represented. So you think of the Goldman Sachs of the world, Morgan Stanley, some of those advisors on those teams. So yeah, it's really an ecosystem between those folks, and then you'll have some of our sponsors that join, kind of on a year to year. Some of the tax folks that are talking about some of the tax efficiencies for some of these estate planning, succession planning, family offices in the room. So it's really a big ecosystem. I think a big draw for this year will be our opening Q&A session, which will be with Grant Cardone, who you might be familiar with. I think he's based in Florida, kind of has some properties all over, but I definitely think he'll bring a pretty interesting take just on his buildup of wealth. For those who don't know him, definitely worth Googling and kind of coming to the conference to see him. But basically building his wealth and kind of his family office, definitely an interesting kind of journey. So I think that'll be definitely well attended. So
yeah, I can't wait to hear Grant Cardone in person. I've seen him many times on TV and on his podcast. Who else is going? Who else might be speaking? What are some of the topics? I've met some of the most fascinating people. They're sat next to all these very interesting people, from service providers to actually members of families.
Yeah, I mean, we kick it off with a lot of family office trends, basically just in real estate, kind of what's out there, what people are doing, kind of some of the top family offices. We have family offices represented, and, they're big in the Florida area, as well as all around kind of the US. But we'll have them in the room. We'll have Candace Beaumont with L Investments. She's been involved in our events in the past, and she's in the kind of family office circuit. So I think it'd be great to have her. But then, yeah, back to topics. Alternative assets are always a big topic here. So we'll be discussing that. All different types of asset classes, from multifamily, single family rental, how people are investing in that, some of these family offices. Industrial is also a big niche one that we'll be discussing on the program. Succession planning, I've mentioned in the past, but I think that's such a big thing with wealth transfer within family offices, and kind of having the succession planning for some of these intergenerational families that are trying to pass their wealth down. So yeah, I think it'll be really a big mix of kind of the asset class specific stuff, as well as the family office specific stuff. And that's, I think, was just kind of a key kind of draw for our audience and people that come to the IMN events, is that we do have that good mix of content and topics and what people want to hear, and while kind of accommodating some of the sponsors as well as the family offices that attend. So yeah, we'll have some good names in the room, but that's surely just a sample. You really just have to come to kind of see for yourself. But
well, you mentioned Candace Beaumont. She's an old friend. I really find that there's only a couple of handfuls of people that really make it happen in the family office world, and Candace is certainly one of them. I would consider her one of the high-profile stars of the sector.
Yeah.
They mentioned family offices. I have friends that work there. Oh, got a call. You mentioned build to rent. I'm working on financing a BTR site right now. Industrial, I've got great financing for industrial, institutional, and one of the things that everybody in real estate is looking for today is GP or LP equity, and that's where these family offices really come in handy. Not only the single family offices, but I think something that really goes by the wayside that people don't really realize is the multiple family offices. Tell me the difference between the two, Irv.
Yeah, I mean, the single family offices are, as compared to the multifamily offices, the single family offices are really kind of a standalone. You think of just one kind of family focus of, let's say, the mother, father, as well as a few kids, and kind of that's the family office, just that one kind of unit of what we would think of a typical family kind of investing in a certain asset class, or in this case, real estate. And then just as compared to the multifamily offices, multifamily offices usually are kind of a construct of families. So whether it's usually two or more, as you could imagine with the obvious multi, but two or more families kind of coming together. And, usually there's a big management group kind of managing multiple family offices within one branch, and kind of what their kind of day-to-day activities are, kind of pulling their money together, whether they're investing together or separately. But that's usually more of a conglomerate feel. So I guess at the event we'll have a mix of people that are MFOs, kind of the abbreviation, as well as SFOs. So it's really the big difference, but the SFOs are really kind of a little bit easier to manage in the sense that it's really that family's money. So you really just kind of focus on those investments, whether you're a chief investment officer or an investment kind of person within the family, if they're big enough, or if it's the family themselves. But the MFO, I think there's a lot more dynamics to kind of how they're investing and where they're investing and kind of how. So it's really kind of the big difference in, I guess, layman's terms. So
yeah, I've always found that each has a different access point, each has a different methodology. I've noticed that most families like to invest together. They look at one as a leader in a particular sector to lead the investment and do the due diligence. I found that working with these families on a multi-generational basis, and I work with numerous families, I found that there's unique settings to both. I think that when you go to the meeting with the different generations, a lot of people tend to ignore the younger generation, and I really believe that that's the one you have to focus on, because they're the one that's going to be coming in. And certainly as the more senior or older folks are phased out, they look to the younger generation to find what's next. And one of the things that can really move the needle for the next generation is real estate. They look to invest in real estate because a lot of the initial family wealth was not made in real estate. And so for the younger generation to make their mark, they look towards real estate as an investment vehicle. So I really believe that that's one of the real benefits of going to this event. And I've been, like I said, working with IMN for many years, found it to be an extremely professional organization. I've enjoyed every single one of the events that I've gone to. And Irv, why don't you give a shout out to a couple of your team members while we're here?
Yeah, no, thanks for all that, Jim. I'd love to give a shout out to Todd Rosenberg, who's been with the company for 20 plus years. He's been pretty vital in getting this. I mean, again, this is the 10th year that we've been doing it, so pretty vital on kind of getting some of the audience development and kind of some of the sales in related to, people who are sponsoring or just people who want to buy tickets. So definitely shout out to him. Big shout out to our marketing head, Stacey Kelly, who's been with the company forever as well. So she's done a lot related to just kind of building our audience and kind of finding out who's who, et cetera, et cetera. I guess generally we do have a mix of coordinators and some of our operations folks who handle the hotel sourcing and which, I guess, popular hotel we can kind of get in South Florida in October timeframe. So Lowe's Coral Gables has been pretty generous to us throughout the years. So that's why we keep coming back. But I think those are some high level shout outs. I can go. I mean, there's probably 30 or 40 people I could shout out, but probably don't have the time for that. So
no, but I do want to talk about a couple of the two people that you did mention. Todd's been a friend of the show for many, many years. I know whenever an event's coming up, these are usually sold out if you wait too long. Todd's always been able to get me in there as getting a ticket. So if anybody has a problem, I think they should reach out to you, and you can access Todd. Todd always makes accommodations for people that are real family office aficionados, and Stacy has always treated me like family whenever I've seen her at the event. So you, awesome. Stacy, and Todd really make it a wonderful thing. And I think that's something also to talk about with the Miami IMN events, is that it really is kind of, I'm going to sound funny here, double entendre. It's really we make it feel like a family. You take people's problems if they have them with the registration or with the hotel or with the getting everything settled. And I've always found that both your executive level as well as your basic people that get you registered, everybody's there to make you feel at home and to make sure that you get the most out of the event. Again, Irv, tell people where they can find the information about the event and how they could reach out to you or Stacy or Todd to make sure that they get the best experience they can at the event.
Yeah, no, I mean, basically, I guess just kind of talking generally about IMN, we do about 50 conferences throughout the year. So I would definitely just direct you to the IMN website, www.imn.org. And you can kind of find all of our information on the website directly. But obviously go to scroll down to our Family Office East event, which will be obviously coming up soon. So it should be high up on the page. And yeah, all our emails are on there. My email personally is irv.adu-gyamfi at informa.com. You probably won't remember that, but it's definitely on the website. You can search it. But yeah, that's probably the best way to get in contact with me. And then I can kind of forward you on to Todd and Stacy if you're looking to get involved or purchase a ticket or kind of see if you're part of our eligible complimentary audience, which is obviously the family office community that we want there, kind of complimentary. So yeah, definitely happy to connect if anyone's interested.
Irv, what's your favorite part about coordinating these events? Because whenever I go there, you're absolutely on fire, whether it's introducing somebody or being, I'll call it the master of ceremonies. What's your favorite part about going to these events, Irv?
Yeah, honestly, well, this one in particular, I always felt this one out when I'm with my friends, or I guess kind of on personal day-to-day kind of conversations. But I just feel like the family office group, you meet a lot of interesting people that are investing in a lot of interesting things. So, you know, that's one of the biggest things is just, I feel like, and I always tell people this, I feel like IMN and working in conferences, you're brokering relationships, right? You're not, people aren't there for you. I mean, in some sense they are, like to your point about being family, making sure everyone feels welcome, but really at the end of the day, they're looking to meet with each other. So I think the biggest thing would just be kind of just hearing about what people's lives are, how they're investing in stuff, what they're investing in. I think one of the stories I use actually often is one of the gentlemen runs the investments for the family office that basically does all of the Panda Express. And you might have met this gentleman before, Jim, but he runs a lot of the family Panda Express investments. And I think stuff like that is super cool because you don't really think that, you don't really think on a day-to-day who's behind that or who's kind of handling the investments related to the retail of a certain place, like a McDonald's franchise or, some of these different asset classes like multifamily or certain restaurants that you go to every day. So I don't know, it's cool kind of being around people that are investing in really high level stuff that, you interact with kind of in your travels or, kind of on your day to day and, something as simple as where you like to eat. There could be a family office that comes to our event and they basically own the whole chain of operations based off of, whatever their family's doing. So I don't know. I think that's probably the biggest thing. So
that's great. We're going to take a quick break and talk about one of my favorite families, the Zinn family from Warren Henry Automotives. But Irv, if you could stick around, we're going to get to the bottom line right after this short break. I want to thank my good friend Irv Adu-Gyamfi. Hope I got that right again, Irv. I hope I'm doing good on that. Irv Miami Podcast Studios made you silent there, but I saw you nodding in the background, Irv. We'll be right back with this after this short word from Warren Henry Automotive with the last word. Well, the topic today is multi-generational families and their businesses, and that's Warren Henry in a nutshell. From Dave Zinn to Warren Henry Zinn to Larry Zinn, 3 generations, a very rare thing in today's family office world. 3 generations of the auto family, the Zinn family at Warren Henry Automotive recently closed a big deal. Actually got the phone call about the closing while I was sitting at Warren Henry getting my new car. I want to thank Ismet for putting that deal together. And Sebastian as well for working with me. I want to thank, of course, my friend Larry Zinn and Warren Henry Zinn for always being there and making us feel part of the family. So when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you always want to get every advantage that you can. And that's why you work with Warren Henry down here at their flagship store at 151st and Biscayne, where they sell Land Rover, Range Rover, Jaguar, Lincoln. And up in Gainesville, they sell the gorgeous Audis that they have up there. Down in the Keys, they've got a store that sells everything in Key West. And down in South Dade, award-winning Land Rover Range Rover store up in Broward, West Broward. They have another Land Rover Range Rover store, as well as all their luxury brands that they have as well. So remember, if you want to get treated like family by one of South Florida's leading families, go to Warren Henry Automotive. And remember, always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. All right, we're back today. I want to remind everybody that my name's Jim Freed. I'm founder of Sandstone Realty Advisors. I just learned that we were the 33rd by volume largest commercial real estate firm in South Florida. So high five to me for that. Want to remind everybody I work with some of South Florida's most prominent and powerful and influential families in the real estate business and the financial business here in South Florida. We're talking with my good friend, Irv Adu-Gyamfi. I hope I'm getting that right, Irv. All right. Hey, Miami Podcast Studios, put Irv back on. Come on. There he is. Yeah, so yeah. I'm going to thank Irv and Todd and Stacy for helping me always feel tremendous at the IMN events. They've got their big family office event coming here in Miami. I've seen investors. I've seen sponsors. I've seen all the different people in the family office ecosystem at the IMN events, and I've always found it to be a very productive experience. So the bottom line, Irv, is where are they going to be, when are they going to be there, and how do they get the information again?
Yeah, so you will be in South Florida, Coral Gables, on October 9th and the 10th. We will kick off the day around 8 a.m. on the 9th. And end on the 10th midday around 12 p.m. And yeah, be a full day and a half worth of programming related to family office investing, as well as all different types of asset classes with all different types of family offices, high net worth advisors, and everyone under the sun. And again, I did want to plug the IMN website. I think it's the best place to kind of learn more about us, but www.imn.org. You'll find more information on the event there. My information will be on there if you want to send me a note and get involved. And yeah, again, 10th year anniversary. So I guess a big year in some sense, but we just kind of keep plugging away on these events and kind of bringing the service to the family offices in South Florida and those kind of nationally that travel in for it. So happy to be a kind of conduit for this industry and family office investing. So.
Well, thank you for being a leader in the family office space and allowing me to attend your events and be part of the family office IMN family. I really appreciate that, Irv. And I want to give, again, a special shout out to Todd and Stacy for always making it a wonderful experience.
Yeah, no. Thank you, Jim. You've been a great partner of ours. And yeah, hope to continue the relationship and have you join us in a few weeks here.
I'm really looking forward to it. I want to remind everybody, if they missed something on today's episode, they could check out the replay on any of our socials, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, or Instagram. You can look for us at Jim Freed or at Feed on Business, or you can head on over to the at Jim Freed YouTube page, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to your audio, and check out all of our other past episodes. I want to thank the theme was family offices. I want to thank one of South Florida's leading families in philanthropy, as well as the auto industry, Warren Henry. I want to thank my personal family at the University of Florida Bergstrom Center for Real Estate Studies. I was just up there, saw Kelly Bergstrom, Nathan Collier, Angela, all of my good friends, David Ling, all of my good friends at the Nathan S. Collier and Bergstrom Real Estate Center, the Nathan S. Collier MSRE program. And I want to remind everybody about what our tagline is, especially when we're talking about these multi-generational families. These are all about people who lived what our tagline is, and that's the person wants to do something, finds a way, the other finds an excuse. Now go out there and happen. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. And as always, we close with the rest of the show is yours, Miami Podcast Studios. Do your magic.